Whoa. Call out. She was from the west side, uptown, 45th Ave, bad little thing, she a cutie, and she got swag, told her that when I come through, we could pop tags, took her out of town just for shopping, you know we blow it back, don't care if haters is watching, they just getting mad, real bosses moving inside.
Following you for a while, so I know that one of the main things that you talk about and promote is the war on black men. Now, with the war on black men, one of the things I do feel, well, one of the things I want to ask you is, do you feel like with the current pressure of kind of like in the media of the homosexuality on TV, do you think that's somewhat of a plight to kind of continue to break down the masculinity of our black men?
Oh, that's a great question. Very great question. And here's how I would answer that. I would first say historically, we as African people have to be conscious of the fact that ever since our so-called emancipation, America has had a priority of our extermination. Ever since emancipation, the agenda of the American power structure has been the extermination of African people. So whether it is the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, whether it is the AIDS, HIV virus that was deliberately created to reduce African life, the Ebola, the West Nile, now they're finding polio coming back. Polio is a disease that was eradicated. But guess what? Even though the white power structure eradicated the disease of polio, they never eliminated the virus of polio. So they kept the polio virus locked up in the lab so they could use it as a biological weapon at some point in future. Now, getting back to your question specifically, without question, the gender assault on black children, black boys and black girls is a part of the extermination project to rid America of African people. 2 women cannot reproduce. 2 men cannot reproduce. So therefore, if we can convince the children, this is why they need to target African children in preschool. This is why they need to target African children in elementary school, in kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, because whoever controls the mind of the child will rule the next generation. Whoever controls the mind of a child will rule the next generation. So the reason they're introducing same-sex indoctrination, not education, there's a very fine line between education and indoctrination. And the difference is when you educate, you're teaching people how to think critically about a set of issues. When you indoctrinate, you don't teach people how to think. You teach people how to follow. Black children are not being educated about same sex. They're being indoctrinated about same sex. And let me say this. I love all African people. I respect all of humanity. Whether you're gay, straight, or transgender, I'm going to respect you as a human being. But I reserve the right to disagree with the manner in which you are living your life. And the reason I have to say that, my brother, is because this government and the LGBT army has created a dichotomy of political discourse whereby if you disagree with same sex, you wish harm against homosexuals. You wish death against transgenders. You wish lesbians to be disrespected. I never support it, and I will never support any platform that says because you are same sex, you should be harmed. I've never said that. But the rainbow community likes to project this dishonest notion that if you disagree with me, you hate me and want to hurt me. Muslims don't agree with Christians. That don't mean they want to kill Christians. Christians don't agree with Muslims. That don't mean they want to harm Muslims. Democrats don't agree with Republicans. That don't mean they want to hurt Democrats or Republicans. So we have to get out of this notion that has been created that has people afraid to express their opinions, whereby if you disagree with same-sex relationships, you're automatically considered someone who hates people of that lifestyle. I hate nobody at all, but I disagree with the lifestyle because it is not a model that is going to preserve the Black family. At the end of the day, We have to be pragmatic about Black liberation, and we have to be pragmatic about Black justice, and we have to be pragmatic about Black preservation. Because if there's no Black preservation, there's no need to talk about Black liberation. If we're not going to have a conversation about how to save ourselves, why are we having a conversation about how to free ourselves? So you have to have a conversation about the survival and the perpetuation of the Black family, which is a Black man, a Black woman who produces Black children. And we got to get back to that, because in the media today, my brother, as you just said, most of the sitcoms, most of the motion pictures, most of the programming is same-sex or opposite race. Every Black person in a romance on TV today is in a same-sex romance or an opposite race romance. Why can't we see healthy straight Black men married to healthy straight Black women? Why can't we see heterosexual Black men romantically involved with heterosexual Black women? If it's heterosexual, it has to be interracial. Why must every show on TV that has a Black man or a Black woman in a heterosexual relationship, they are in that heterosexual relationship with somebody of another race? What type of example is that to Black boys and Black girls? They're trying to kill our children's desire to preserve the Black family.
Thank you. I agree with that 100%. And of course, I know listeners will probably, some agree, some may disagree, but I definitely feel pretty much.
We can.
The same.
Are you able to?
I'm sorry?
Are you able to have callers on your platform, good brother?
No, unfortunately. I mean, they can call in and you can probably hear them, but I actually got it to where I want them to send in questions. So sure. I may get something through my phone. So they may be able to ask any questions or anything like that. So I definitely left that avenue open.
One more point, if I may, on that LGBT agenda. The Black community has to get to a place where we can agree to disagree on LGBT. But can we at least agree on one thing? Preschool is not the age. Kindergarten and first grade is not the age. Second and third grade is not the age that you introduce sexual conversation to children. Between 3 and 9, no 3 to 9-year-old is sexually attracted to anybody. They're not sexually attracted to animals. They're not sexually attracted to the opposite sex. They're not sexually attracted to the same sex. 3 to 9, there's no sexual attraction in a 3 to 9-year-old child. Zero. You don't start developing sexual attraction until you go through pre-puberty, 11, 12, 13 at the earliest. So why can we not agree that children are off limits for any kind of sexual indoctrination? Well, you can agree with the lifestyle, but can we agree that you don't target our children at such a young, tender age for this type of propaganda? And that's why I'm disappointed in the Black community for not at least standing up for that.